This is the first book from the series. Not cool, just called. Chapter 1, The Lie of Being Enough. Jacob Lanier sat in the back of the subway car, hoodie up, earbuds in, thumb scrolling. The train rattled beneath him, but he barely noticed. His latest post had just passed 1,200 likes. His best yet. The comments were decent. People thought he was funny, confident and chill. But none of it felt real. He'd spent 20 minutes editing that photo. Cropped out the acne, brightened his eyes. Tilted his head just enough to look effortless. It wasn't effortless, it was exhausting. The truth was, Jacob hadn't slept much. His chest felt tight, his thoughts were loud. The moment the dopamine wore off, he was right where he started, wondering if he mattered. He looked up at the crowd on the train. Everyone was on their phones. No one was talking, no one was looking. It felt like the whole city was pretending, preforming, scrolling through curated versions of themselves. Jacob knew how to play the game. He knew what to wear, what to say, how to act. But lately he started asking questions he didn't know how to answer. His thoughts took over.
Who am I when no one is watching? Would anyone who follows me on my socials care if I just stopped pretending? Is there more to life than this?
The train screeched to a stop. He stood up, adjusted his hoodie, checked his shoes, a natural habit of his. When society makes you think you don't matter if you don't look good. He exhaled and stepped into the noise of the city. Another day, another performance. Another layer of himself buried beneath the fake image.
The last video I put up got some pretty good traction. I should probably make another post before I get to school. I think I'm just going to put up a photo this time.
Jacob stopped in front of a local coffee shop, took his phone out and posed for his camera. His head tilted, flashed a crooked smile and took the photo. He looked at the picture, made the usual adjustment, then typed, "Coffee is life," for the description. Jacob stepped into the school hallway. The noise hit him first. A girl laughs, lockers opening and closing, music leaking from earbuds. Everyone was preforming, everyone had a role. He passed a group of guys who were hyping each other up over a viral video. A girl posed for a selfie near the stairwell, adjusting her bangs between shots. Jacob nodded at a few people from his homeroom and kept walking. He pulled out his phone again. Another comment had come in during his last class. "Bro, you're killing it lately." He smiled, but it didn't make him feel anything. At his locker, he looked into the mirror that he fastened to the back wall. He adjusted his hoodie and ran a hand through his hair and stared.
You look fine. Someone commented on your post. Things are going okay.
The thought didn't stick. He watched a guy walk past, taller, leaner, cooler. Jacob felt smaller. Then, a girl with flawless skin, perfect hair and perfect outfit walked by. He felt invisible. It was like everyone was handed a manuscript on how to be influential, and he's missed the memo. Opening his phone again, scrolled, then compared, repeat cycle.
If I were enough, I wouldn't feel so empty. I wouldn't have to try so hard to feel happy.
He slammed his locker shut and headed to class. Jacob slumped into his seat in Mr. Rayner's class. His government teacher. The classroom buzzed with energy. Mr. Rayner stood at the front with a whiteboard where he was finishing up scribbling dates and phrases. 1950s counterculture, civil rights, digital age, and identity politics.
All right, let's talk about cultural shifts. How has Western civilization changed in the last 50 to 70 years? And if it was for better or for worse?
A girl near the window raised her hand. Mr. Rayner called on her.
Well, we've made progress, obviously. Civil rights, gender equality, mental health awareness. People have more freedom to be themselves.
A boy in the back chimed in.
Yeah, but we also lost something. Families don't stay together. People don't trust the institutions because we catch the government in lies, and everyone is offended all the time.
Jacob stared at the board. Identity politics. That phrase stuck. Mr. Raines nodded.
Good. Let's dig deeper. What is the cost of all this freedom? What have we gained and what have we traded away?
A student in the front row spoke up.
We've gained visibility. People who were ignored now have a voice. But we've also created this pressure to perform. Like, you have to brand yourself just to exist.
Jacob's head lifted slightly. Mr. Rains pointed at the student that just spoke.
Say more about that. That is a compelling observation.
It's like everyone's a product now. You're not just a person, you're a profile. You have to be interesting, attractive, politically correct, emotionally stable, but not too stable. You have to be broken enough to be relatable, but not so broken that you're a problem.
The class laughed at her answer, but Jacob did not. Mr. Rains turned to the whiteboard and wrote, "Image versus identity." Jacob stared at the words. His chest tightened up. Another student spoke up.
Back then, people had fewer choices, and maybe more clarity. Now, we have so many options, but no idea who we are or what to choose.
Mr. Rains nodded, then spoke, pointing to what he wrote on the board.
So, here's the question. Has progress made us more free or just more lost?
Jacob didn't raise his hand, but the question echoed in his mind.
More free or more lost? I don't see how we're more free when we are so worried about how people will like us. We're so trapped by our phones. It's second nature to go to your phone before anything else.
He raised his hand slowly. Mr. Rains looked surprised and motioned to Jacob.
Yes, give us your opinion, Jacob.
I think we're more lost.
The room quieted. Jacob continued.
We've got freedom, yeah. We can say what we want, dress how we want, post whatever. But it's like, the more choices we have, the less we know who we are. We are all trying to be seen, but nobody feels known.
A few of his classmates that were not really paying any attention to the general conversation stopped what they were each doing to give Jacob their attention. Mr. Rains motioned for him to keep going.
Back then, people had limits, boundaries. Most probably boredom too. But they had space to think. Space to be away from screens. Electronics were scarce back then. Was life slow-moving? Yes, probably. But our generation, we are constantly performing for likes and comments. Even when we are alone, that's the biggest thing our minds are circling. I should check my social media. Did I get any new followers? I am guilty of it. But are we expressing who we really are or just faking it? Can we even tell the difference anymore?
The girl who gave the first opinion challenged his statement.
But isn't that just adapting? Like we're evolving with the tech age, we're more expressive now.
Jacob shook his head and answered back.
No, expressive, sure. But are we more honest about our feelings, what we actually believe, or are we just superficial on the inside, have no actual values and just takes what society, the world, gives us and accept it as truth, our truth? If a magazine tells you that your life's not complete without this phone, or this outfit, or any material thing, you would just go with it and fake being happy. If you read in an online article that statistics show having multiple cars leads to a happier life, you would just go right along with it? Or, having all the money in the world would make you feel less alone. Having many options seems to overwhelm and confuse people when you do not understand how to navigate through them. No actual guidance that isn't attached to a societal image or agenda.
The girl leaned forward with a look of confusion on her face. The class and Mr. Rayner looked very drawn into his words. Jacob scanned the class nervously, completely unsure where all of that just came from, but he held on to it. He felt something inside of him that he never felt before, solid belief in something. He clung to this newfound feeling, unsure of how long it would stay. The girl chimed back in with another question to Jacob.
So wait, are you wanting us to go backwards to the 1940s era instead? When people were miserable and suffering, probably no electricity or hot water, I'm sure. They literally had nothing. You can go back to that time. I'll stay right here with my phone and my TV shows.
The girl rolled her eyes at Jacob and laughed at the thought of giving up anything she cherished. He looked at her and gave a half smile and finished the point he was making.
I'm saying we traded silence and peace of mind for noise. You can't say people in the 40s or 50s were miserable and suffering if they did not have anything to compare it to. No one is asking you to give up your things. Also, The noise I am referring to are all the subliminal messaging our own governing society plays out to us on a regular basis. The technology in your phone listens to you when you talk. It monitors your algorithms connected to your search engine. Don't you think it's strange you talk about wanting a smoothie with your phone next to you and the next thing you know on your social media, there are now ads showing you your favorite smoothie shop? It's not a coincidence. We can't really think for ourselves without being influenced by noise. If I could go back to a time where I can talk about something and it not be suggested in the next ad, then yes, or something telling me what I want or need that does absolutely nothing for my actual well-being, then yes again. Maybe we should stop falling for the lie that you are enough if you have this or that. It's society marketing you, making you a walking ad. But I digress.
The room was quiet again. Mr. Raines smiled and crossed his arms, satisfied with the participation of the class in the group discussion, but very happy to hear there are students that are waking up to the mechanics of a governing society. He brought the conversations to its end before the bell rang, ending class.
Here is something you can think about when you are not doom scrolling over the weekend. Progress has given us tools, but it's also given us masks. Maybe the challenge is learning how to distinguish underlining political identity and if they mask it with fake society imaging and then take a stand to radical society agendas. Challenge its purpose and effectiveness. However, that being said, don't go anarchy on a gas station over the weekend declaring that you're breaking free from rules and agendas, or you will get a crash course for dummies on the judicial system. It's best if conversation in the order of the day, not violence. Alright, see you all Monday.
The bell rang, students piled out the door, some to lunch and others to their next class. Jacob was putting his government textbook into his locker when he received a pat on one of his shoulders. He looked over to see Shane, his childhood best friend, standing there grinning.
Where did that come from, Lenya? I have never in my 14 years of knowing you ever witnessed you to be that expressive. It was wild. I really thought you were going to make that girl fall out of her chair with how you two were debating. My head literally started to hurt listening to it. I mean, you were amazing, but man, maybe if you were expressive like that with sports.
I don't know where it came from. It surprised me too. And I will never be expressive about sports, it's just not something I am into. But you are great at it, and that's awesome for you, Shane.
Jacob was happy to see Shane, but was curious as to what really made him come talk to him. It's been months and he's passed him numerous times in the hallway. So Jacob just assumed that Shane let go of their friendship to focus on his football and his teammates who were also his friends. He was fine with that and made his peace, but he will keep an open mind and go along with the conversation.
Listen, I know I've been out of the picture with football camp and practice. Coach says there are scouts coming out to the next couple of games, and that a few colleges have inquired about me. I'm pretty excited. Now, you may not be the athletic type, but I still say you have a fair chance in basketball against me. Let's get to gym class and shoot some hoops. Yeah?